All right, so we are done with Unit 6. That means that this EdPuzzle will be considered your review for the unit, and then your test is tomorrow. Test will be posted Friday morning. You've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Get this done by midnight on Monday. Ask me questions if you're in person. Shoot me an email over the review. The test, go back and watch old lessons if you need to while you're taking it. I don't care. Just do well on this test. It's the first one of the semester. So the unit has 3 parts. You will have to be able to find the missing side in a right triangle using the Pythagorean theorem. You'll have to be able to tell me if a triangle is acute, right, or obtuse using the Pythagorean theorem. And then you will have to solve a couple of word problems. And this will cover all of that. Again, go back and watch any of the previous lessons if you need to. So the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A and b are the legs. Those are the two that come together and make the right angle. The hypotenuse is always the longest one across from the right angle. Make sure you're putting the right numbers in the right spot. All right, so this first one, I'm going to show the picture. The first question is, which is the correct setup? You're going to have 2 different choices there, and then you actually solve it and give me an answer, rounded to the nearest tenth if needed. Okay, what's the correct setup to solve for this one? You basically have 2 options. Go. If you pick the correct option, x squared plus 12 squared equals 13 squared, I'd like you to solve that now. Correct answer should be 5. Sometimes these will work out to be a whole number. Sometimes they won't. It just depends. Same thing. Correctly set up this one. Okay, 9 squared plus 12 squared equals x squared. This time you're missing the hypotenuse, the one across from the right angle. And solve it. Again, another whole number. That happens. It's about half and half. It just kind of depends. Set up and solve. Okay, there's your setup. You're looking for the hypotenuse again. Solve it. There you go. What's the correct setup? Okay, when you solve this one, you will get decimals, round to the nearest tenth. There you go. Okay, this next part, you can use variations of the Pythagorean theorem to determine if triangles are acute or obtuse also. This basically comes down to how the c squared number compares to the first half. If the c squared is smaller, it's an acute triangle, acute angles. If the c squared is equal, it's right. If the c squared is big, it's obtuse. And if you kind of know what these words mean, acute have small angles, so the c squared is small. Obtuse triangles have a big angle, so the c squared is big. Pay attention to those little clues. Okay, first one, you're not solving for anything. You've got all 3 sides of this listed out already. You set it up and determine acute, right, or obtuse. Okay, a little bit of scratch work. A squared plus b squared, c squared, and then I work out the a squared plus b squared down to 100. I worked out the right side to 100. That tells me 100 equals 100. That is a right triangle. Okay, set up that comparison and then decide if it's acute, right, or obtuse. This one was obtuse because 20 squared is 400. That is bigger than 9 squared plus 12 squared combined. Okay, determine if this one is acute, right, or obtuse. This one was acute because 225, the c squared, is a smaller value than 12 squared plus 12 squared. Last one. This one is right, 169 on both sides. Equal means right. All right, using the Pythagorean theorem to solve a word problem. You've got to know the difference between vertical, horizontal, and diagonal. Right? And I just realized I did those backwards. Vertical, straight up and down. Horizontal, straight left and right. And diagonal. Those words might be in the problem to help you clue in onto what you're solving for. Find the diagonal length of a door that has a width of 36 inches and a height of 84 inches. So you are looking for the diagonal. Set it up and solve. Okay, I like to draw pictures on these to kind of give me a little bit better idea of what I'm doing. The diagonal length is what we're looking for. So the hypotenuse, the width is 36, and the height is 84. It's a straight setup and solve, 91.4. You do not have to give me units on these. If I give you a problem that has inches in it, your answer is going to have inches in it. You don't have to include those for me. All right, last one. Find the height of a poster that has a width of 24 and a diagonal of 45 inches. All right, set up and solve. 38.1 inches. Okay, questions tomorrow on the test are very similar.